Oh. And thank you for letting me know I was on mute. All right. The quiz has started. Good luck, everybody. And if you need the game pin, it is at the very bottom of the screen. All right, what other addresses are on the same network as a computer using 10.0.35.90? Is it any secret that that was worth double points? Because for this question, a person would have to figure out, okay, what is the subnet that that device is on? And then what is the range for that subnet? And that's a longer discussion than we have time for right now. But good news, if you are among the hundreds of thousands of people that think they could learn more about subnetting, I invite all of you to check out this Subnet Saturdays playlist here on YouTube on my channel. It's about 11 or 12 videos, and it walks you through step by step. So after the end, you'll be able to very easily calculate this and get the right answer to a question like this without even having to use a calculator. So if you're interested in subnetting or getting better at it, check out Subnet Saturdays, that playlist, and a lot of great answers here. So congratulations on that. Let's take a look at the podium from the first question. And the way this works, too, is you get points, of course, for answering a question correctly. And you get more points for answering it quickie. I just said quickie. You get more points for answering it quickly. So the more correct answers, of course, and the more quickly you can answer them, the more points you're going to get. All right, let's continue on. And here we go. Question 2 of 17, also worth double points. All right, 54 and 70 on the correct answers. I remember when I was sitting this exam, CCNA 200-301, and now I'm a double CCIE, but when I got the questions they asked me regarding subnetting, I mean, it wasn't the whole exam, of course. It's like, several questions regarding subnetting directly, and then several that were indirect out of 100. So when I first saw a few of the questions, I thought, that's not very fair. And I've got a message to myself that I'd like to share with you about life not being fair. Life isn't fair. Never has been, never will be. And so I that was my first gut response was to this question about subnetting. Like, that's not very fair. And I thought, okay, now that I realize it's not fair, how do I sort that out? How do I figure out the answer to that? And again, for subnetting, anything regarding subnetting at the CCNA level and beyond, you can learn the basics and fundamentals of it in that playlist. Subnet Saturdays, you might want to set a goal for yourself. I commit over the next 6 months or 6 weeks to watch one video a week from that playlist. It is free. And when you walk out of there, you'll be able to walk out of the playlist virtually. You'll be able to do subnetting. And you can use that skill the rest of your career. Because as far as I know, IPv4, even though IPv6 has been out for more than a decade, IPv4 will be around for decades to come. So you might want to just take a moment, learn subnetting. It'll help you. All right, continuing on. Let's see who's at the top of the podium here. It is Captain Leopard with 6,732 points, making a strong showing. Who will be on the podium at the end? We shall see. Here's the next question. Question 3. Now this one's just under 30 seconds because it doesn't require a lot of analysis. All right. DHCP snooping prevents rogue DHCP servers, which could hand out wrong information about DNS and also default gateway and so forth. So DHCP snooping is the answer here. All right. Great jobs, everyone. Let's take a look at the next question, which is this. Also worth double points. And you might be saying to yourself, oh, I get it. If there's like 90 seconds on the clock, it's going to take a little thinking. And you're exactly right. All right, which IP addresses could be assigned to a new interface on the router? And this again is a thinking question. We look at this output. This is an interface, or show IP route connected. This is a route on this router. Looks like it's a multi-layer switch. It's a VLAN interface. And so you'd want to say, well, what is the range for that subnet that it's connected to? And then you cannot have two interfaces, at least in the same VRF. I put that out there for Kelvin. You can't, a VRF is a virtual routing and forwarding instance, and basically it's like a separate instance of a routing table. So routers have a default global routing table, and that's what we're used to and look at. And then they can also have VRFs. But assuming we're not talking about anything about VRFs, you can't have two interfaces with the same IP address or the same subnet. So if you do try to put it on a router, it'll say, sorry, this IP address overlaps with the other. So this took a little bit of thinking. Good job for those of you who got it correct. Also, if you are, there's a lot to learn with any new technology. And my coaching would be, let's not just try to memorize an answer. Let's focus on, okay, what areas do I not quite understand? And then make steps to learning it. I mean, let me show you another thing. I'm studying right now SD-WAN. In fact, let me show it to you. I'm using this lab topology. I'll bring it over. And I'm having so much fun. Oh my gosh. So much fun with SD-WAN, with all the pieces and parts and overlay management, overlay, the OMP protocol and so forth. And, a lot, I got thinking about you. Now, I know a lot of people in this stream right now. By the way, thank you for being here. It's great to see you. Many of you are working towards your Cisco certifications. Some of you already have it and are just here to brush up or have fun and support the community. It's all great, 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 great. But as I was working on this over the last week, a lot of the problems that I had to overcome were routing issues. Like, why is this not working? Why is that not working? Routing, basic routing. So if you just make the decision, hey, I'm going to learn about routing, like reading a routing table, understanding the logic of routing, how the network works, layer 2 switches, that's not too tricky. Once you learn it, make the commitment, because what you learn now will help you later. That's the only point I want to make. It's not just memorizing something for, right now. It's learning something that you can leverage over and over and over again. All right, let's continue on. I will remove this topology from the screen, and let's take a look at our next question. On the top, wow, Captain Leopard is still crushing it, 9,200 points and change. Here's question number 5. Which of the following is a multicast address? All right, that is absolutely true. The blue answer there, FF02::5. That is a multicast address in IP version 6. The red answer is a link local address. The yellow answer, 223, is an IPv4 address, not a multicast address. This is in the class C range at the high end, I might add. And then FC00 is a unique local layer 3 address in IPv6. If you got that correct, awesome work. And it happens to be ::5. That happens to be a multicast address used for OSPF. Spot on. All right. We are zooming through here. Here's question number 6. What port state is unique to rapid spanning tree? Now, by unique, I mean you wouldn't find this exact terminology in the original flavor. 802.1d is in David. All right, indeed, discarding. Now, one of the things that got me when I was first learning spanning, well, it's been a couple decades since I started learning spanning tree, but I can tell you when I first saw spanning tree and I didn't know what it was, I remember that. I still remember I was using a protocol capture application. It wasn't Wireshark back in the day, it was even before that. And I saw these things happening every 2 seconds. I thought, what is that? What is that? I think it was a few decades ago. And it was spanning tree going to work. And also, one of the tricky parts for me, I just want to share it with you regarding spanning tree, was that there's 802.1d as in David. I call it the Colonel Sanders original flavor, or original recipe for spanning tree. Then there's rapid spanning tree, 802.1w. And I remember that by thinking about Elmer Fudd. I'm hunting wabbits, 802.1, wapid spanning tree. It's going to be hard to forget, wapid. Anyway, that may not always work based on everybody's, accents that are different than mine, but that's okay. And then, the part that was challenging for me is that, okay, I'm going to use 802.1, rapid spanning tree mode, rapid, enable it, and then life will be good, and I'll see the discarding state. And I looked at the output, and it still shows blocking, not discarding. So even though the terminology changes between 802.1d, traditional spanning tree, and 802.1w, rapid spanning tree, some of the output regarding, blocking versus discarding and things like that some of those outputs are the same in the CLI. So don't let that throw you. Just be aware of how they work. Do some labs on it, practice it up, and you'll be good to go. Okay, next question. And Captain Leopard says, no, I will not relinquish my spot at the top. I'm rooting for you, Captain. All right. Here's question 7 of 17. And it's double points. And Harris is asking, who is Captain Leopard? Yeah, I wish I knew too. Sorry about that. Just made that bigger again so everybody can see it. And Kitty Mayo is stating, I wish I didn't have to wait for the timer to expire to know whether I got it right or wrong. I'm with you. I'm with you. It's just like the exam, though. You have to wait till the end of the entire CCNA exam to find out whether or not you got enough points to pass. And with some diligence and time, you can do this. You've got this. You can practice, get your skills ready, and totally crush the exam. When I say crush, I'm talking about just passing the exam. All right. Those switch one will initiate. So we've had other discussions on the channel and on my YouTube videos about switching and DTP and so forth. And what I would encourage you to do is that if you, let's imagine that you missed a few of these questions and you weren't sure exactly why. I challenge everybody within the sound of my voice that is studying Cisco that take one of those areas, just one, and go check out one of the videos in the CCNA playlist. There's over 110 videos there. Just sort through on that topic, whether it's OSPF or spanning tree or routing or switching, whatever it is, and just get a little bit better on it. And it's fun. It's fun. It's fun to learn new things. It's fun to go ahead and take your knowledge from point A and go to point B and then to point C. And it's a fun journey. And don't try to do it all at once, but just every day, maybe a couple times a week, just carry your knowledge forward. It's a lot of fun. All right. Next question is this one. Question 8 of 17. It's also multiple select, so choose at least 2 answers here. Well, exactly 2. And what are the primary benefits of weighted, random, early detection, which is a QoS mechanism? I also want to thank the Solid Shadow very much. Thank you very much. He says, go team. Much appreciated. And I like Aled's comment. I knew I wouldn't know too much. I'm only 10 hours into my training, so it's exciting. There's a lot to learn. That will never change. So you are on a fun, fantastic journey. Aled, welcome, welcome, welcome. So good to have you. All right. What are the primary benefits of red? It does drop some low priority traffic, and it also avoids congestion. That's the goal. We want to avoid the sawtooth condition with TCP and the resync that happens if there is too much congestion. So, all right, let's continue on. And here's the next question. It is double points. These 2 switches are about to be connected. What's going to happen? And Usama's asking, hey, Keith, are you a cybersecurity engineer or a network engineer? And I would say, based on my experience and my skill set, I could do both? Thanks for that question. And also welcome. It's good to have you here. All right, no trunk will form. And if you have a question like, why wouldn't that happen? Just check out the CCNA playlist. It's right here on the Keith Barker channel. And just go down to the videos on trunking and 802.1q, and it'll have further explanations there. Again, these aren't just a quick, most of these aren't just a quick explanation. Also in the queue, I see a couple of questions. One is, do I plan on making any more videos for HSRP or first hop redundancy protocols? I would swear that, it seems like, I should say, that I've got videos on Gateway Load Balancing Protocol, GLBP, HSRP, Hot Standby Route Protocol, and VRRP on YouTube on my channel. I've been doing YouTube for about 11 years now, since 2009, depending on when you watch this video. So I think there's probably several videos there. And also, I get a lot of questions on topics in CCNA, and I'm thinking, yeah, I have that. So you might want to bookmark the CCNA playlist on the Keith Barker channel, or at least subscribe. That way you can always find it easy if you need to. If you need to take a little bit deeper dive or some examples or a practical explanation of why something is a certain way, most of those answers are in those playlists already. And if you need to join this Kahoot, if you're just joining us, you can do it with that information right there. The game pin is at the very bottom of the screen. So the scoreboard, Captain Leopard is at the top of the heap still, crushing it with 17,000 points. Captain Leopard, if you want to, you don't have to, but if you want to say who you are, I got a few people asking, hey, who is that Captain Leopard? But this, I use the anonymity, so you don't have to say who you are. This is open for everybody who's like 10 hours into training, as some of you are, or if you're a CCIA already. This is just to have everybody practice and rehearse and spend some time together. All right, here is question number 10, double points and multiple select, and good luck. So Harris is commenting in, Captain Leopard could be Network Chuck. I think, Chuck and I have known each other for a while. I think if he was here, he would have already said hello. So I don't think it's I don't think it's Network Chuck. Although, he certainly would do great. And a comment saying, these quizzes are great motivation to learn more. Thank you. And also to assess your knowledge, that's the goal. Let's keep things moving. Umair's asking, will there be any more packet tracer labs? Now, Umair, I've got 26 or 27 packet tracer labs at thekeithbarker.com. There's also videos that are walkthroughs for most of those. So if you've done all of those labs, hit me up in hit me up in Discord. Just give me a direct message, and I'll be more than happy to chat with you and possibly give you something else challenging if you'd like. But make sure you try all those first. A lot of great content there. All right. And Imran is saying, it's me regarding Captain Leopard. All right, Imran, you're crushing it. So glad that you are here. Learning and growing and verifying those results are great, great things. So this is another tricky question. I know I talked through a lot of that. This is tricky, Because you'd have to first say, okay, well, what's the range for that subnet? Based on the least significant bit of the mask, and that would be the block size. And then based on what that range is, you'd go ahead and calculate which of these IP addresses fall in that range. And all of that information, once again, is in the Subnet Saturdays playlist. So if you've been putting off, here's my request for you. If you have been putting off learning subnetting, let today be the end of that procrastination. Just check out one of those videos today, the first one, and say, yeah, that makes sense. And then the second one and the third one. And then by the time you're done with those 11 videos, you will be able to do subnet calculations, understand what it is. And when you look at an IP address in the future and you look at that mask, it won't be a mystery. It's like, oh, that's how it works. This is the subnet. That's the range. Here's how many hosts it supports. And you can just nail it without a lot of extra work. And if you're taking CCNA, it's going to come in handy on half a dozen or so questions as well, as far as your knowledge about that. But the value is, if you learn it, you can nail it every single time. All right, and a lot of you did. So great job here. And here is our next question. At the top of the heap, Swift Octopus. Stop the truck. Swift Octopus is now in first place. All right, no pressure. Captain Leopard, but we have a new leader on the board. Somebody, based on that last question, who really knows subnetting. So, and Captain Leopard, I'm sure you do too. So the race is on. This is getting exciting. What causes a router to join the multicast group of FF02::2? And when you do IPv6 unicast routing, that's what makes an IPv6 router, like a Cisco router running IPv6 protocol stack, that's what makes it willing to route on behalf of others. And as part of that, it joins a special multicast group for enabled routers, which is FF02::2. All devices are going to join FF02::1. That's just, hey, I'm alive and well on the IPv6 network. And if you're doing routing, it's ::2. If you need to brush up on IPv6, there's a couple places you could go. One of those includes the CCNA playlist right here on YouTube. All right, here is, and Swift Octopus is not relenting the lead. All right, here we go. Question number 12. Where are root ports located? Well, this has got to be root switches, right? Root ports go on root switches. Makes perfect sense. By the way, red, root switches, is not the right answer. But it sounds like it should be. All right, non-root switches. And if you're new to Spanning Tree, like those of you who are just starting your journey through the world of networking, in the CCNA playlist, there are at least 5 or 6 videos on Spanning Tree that will help walk you through that and help with that understanding. Okay, I'm very interested. Wow, Swift Octopus and Captain Leopard are just like within 500 points of each other. Not far behind. We have Hero Lizard, Cute Pelican, Lucky Rhino. If any of those, if that's you, way to go. And if you're not on this top 5 list, I also want to say to you, way to go. Way to be here. Way to participate. Here's your next question. All right, I see Kelvin Tran is in the house. I'd like to give him a shout out for all the help he provides both here in chats and as an admin on the Discord server. Kelvin is an amazing young man who makes videos, goes to school, working on his CCIE. Very, very impressive. If you have a chance to follow Kelvin on social or through his YouTube, please do so. He's fantastic. All right, there's a lot going on in this picture, and it takes a lot of knowledge regarding ARP inspection, port security, how switch ports work. If you need to brush up on that, again, the master playlist, actually it's the CCNA playlist here on my YouTube channel has a lot of details that can help you with that. All right. Also, if you have a specific question on a video, let's imagine let's say you're watching this in the future or you're watching it now and you have a question on a specific video. There's a few ways that you can get an answer to that. If you want to direct message me on Discord, I'm in. I check that 2 or 3 times a week, follow up with everybody. Sometimes it does take me a few days to get there, so I'll follow up if you want. The other option is if you do a post in the comments and you do the timestamp, like where in the video it is. That way, when you ask the question, I can click on that link in a separate window, see exactly the question you're asking about, and I'd be happy to elaborate. All right, so there's plenty of ways to get those questions answered. Also, if you haven't studied something yet, give yourself a little break. Study it first. Lab it up if you have options, do that in Packet Tracer, and then come back. And if you still have a question, feel free to ask, and I'm happy to help. All right, question number 14. We're nearing the final stretch here. This is double points. Good luck. All right. Well, those are the 3 correct answers. For more details, of course, you can go to the YouTube channel for Keith Barker right here, and you can select the master playlist, also called the CCNA playlist, and just go down that list and pick out the ones that deal with trunkings and VLANs and switching. Also, I've got a tip I'd like to share with you, and that's this. There are so many things to learn in life, right? I mean, we have so many things. I was looking on YouTube last night, and I was just searching for various topics. I thought, it'd be fun to learn more about Python programming. I know like a smidgen of Python. And then I was looking at other things. You know what? It would be great to learn Blender, which is a tool to make stuff for like in 3D worlds and things. And I thought, it would be great to learn to speed read. I took a speed reading course like 20 years ago to help improve my throughput with reading. And I thought, it'd be great to study that. And I started like making a list of all these things that would be great to study. And at the end of the day, what happens is that I ended up like an hour and a half. So I batch my time. So when I'm doing like quiz questions and I'm following up on social media, I batch my time doing in groups. So I was like 2 hours in to looking at all these topics, going down the rabbit holes with all these different things. I thought to myself, I really haven't learned anything. I mean, because I've just been looking at like ideas of what to learn. So I would like to give you an analogy. If we have 2 hands, and in this hand I have hope and interest and curiosity. And in this hand, I have an hour of productive time doing something meaningful, like studying a topic. Which hand is going to get me further? Hoping, thinking about it, or actually doing something? And the answer is this hand right here. If I had spent that 2 hours, that was fun. I mean, we need downtime. I get it. I need downtime too. So if we spent 2 hours of like time that wasn't very useful, if it was entertainment, great, I'm all in. If it was like, oh gosh, I spent 2 hours and I should have been studying something, my encouragement to you is a quote from Star Wars. You ready? A quote from Star Wars, and I paraphrases from the episode 4, the first one that was made. Stay on target. Stay on target. So if you are studying for your CCNA, stay on freaking target. I know there's so many other cool things. SD-WAN, SD access. There's Amazon Web Services. There's cloud services. There's virtualizations. There's VMware. There's firewalls. All those are fascinating to me. Absolutely fascinating. But if you're studying for your CCNA, let's get that done. Lock it. Say, I got the knowledge, and then we'll move on to the next one, because I think that's what's happening to a lot of people in general in life, including myself as a really good example of that. That's why making commitments helps. So I committed to everybody on social that this month, it's the 23rd right now. It's the 23rd, and I committed to taking an RC before the end of the month. Have I scheduled it yet? No. Have I done some prep work for it? Yes. I've been prepping with EAGRP and named EAGRP and OSPF version 3 and redistribution between routing. I've been practicing labbing it up. So I'm practicing, but I've got like 6 days left before I can take it because I made my commitment. And that's because the commitment helps us to get the job done. So once again, I'm asking you for your commitment. I'm asking you to commit to somebody. It could be me on social. It could be a friend, a loved one, whoever. Commit to what you intend to do, and then let them hold your feet to the fire just a little bit so you can, from Star Wars, stay on target, stay on target, stay on target. All right. I want you to succeed. And just watching videos is great. I learn a lot from video. That's my major. When I study something, here's how I do it. I read first. I watch some videos to support that, and then I lab the bejeebers out of it. And that way, when I'm labbing it up, I'm like, that doesn't work like I thought it was. Oh, I've got that wrong in my mind. I got to relearn that. That's not correct. And because of something I misinterpreted. So that's a good strategy. So my focus for you would be to commit to something, do it, get it done, learn that technology, and then move on to the next thing. Yeah. So perhaps the next time you're watching a video and it's not directly related to what you're studying at that moment, you might say to yourself, maybe I should spend this half hour learning this technology instead of just watching videos or doing something else or watching Netflix or what have you. All right. I'm officially getting off my soapbox. Next question. You guys are doing great. And the next question is this. We've got just a few more and we're done. 2 connected ports, both configured as auto, will build the trunk. It's only 30 seconds because this is a true or false question. All right, it kind of feels like it ought to work, but it won't. 2 devices configured as auto. Neither one will negotiate or start the negotiations. That trunk won't form. Or at some parts of the country, we say, that dog won't hunt. All right, I had somebody in Discord a few weeks, maybe it was a month ago, and I gave them the offer of this. They were interested in DM VPNs. Now, dynamic multi-point VPNs, make no mistake, they are sweet and fun and everything else. And SD-WAN, super exciting. And so I made this is somebody who's studying for their CCNA, and I said, their name, I said, I'll tell you what, I'll give you a personal tutorial, one-on-one, of DM VPN after you get your CCNA passed. Because all that technology is super fun and exciting, but if you're focused on one technique or one certification or one set of technologies, let's get that done first, then move on. Because at the end of the day, if we're like, if we have a little bit of knowledge, like an inch tall and that's a mile wide, that probably is not going to drive the revenue and the income and the jobs that we need. The reality, I believe, is that we have to know a lot of things. Like, if you want to do hacking, you have to know a lot of things to do hacking. I mean, ethical hacking, clarify that. You have to know how systems work. You need networks work. The cloud works, network administration, directory services, and Microsoft. You need to know how that stuff works, and web services, so you can leverage them and know what to look for. And so it's the same thing with, where was I going with that? Oh my gosh, I got on my soapbox. But so focusing, what was I going to say? I totally slipped. I have no idea where I was going with that. But the key is focus on a topic, learn it, and then leverage that and move on to the next. I am so embarrassed. It was going to be great. Just imagine something fantastic coming out of my mouth. All right, next question. We are almost done. And I'd like to, again, thank everybody who's joined me here for a few minutes today, this morning. Yeah, Ronald, I'm looking at your comment. Stay on target. And that's exactly what I just got distracted about. Yep, I wasn't focused enough. All those jokes coming right back at me. I totally deserve it. Live streams. Boom, shaping. We don't do a lot of shaping anymore. That's back when I was a youngster. Back in the 90s, we did a lot of shaping with frame relay, but we don't have frame relay too much anymore. But the technology still exists. Also, this is a great way if you're implementing a network and you want to test quality of service. You can actually put on shaping to degrade traffic on a circuit so that you can actually see the results of your network, even if traffic has been slowed down a little bit. All right. Captain Leopard, Swift Octopus, Clever Leopard. Hey, do you guys know each other? Clever Leopard and Captain Leopard. Boy, you're all doing great. And this is the last question. No pressure, but how many hosts can be supported in a /28? And I'm referring to IPv4 in case there's any question there. All right. So if you have a /28, that means there's 29, 30, 31, 32. 4 host bits available for host addressing. And 2, 4, 8, 16. Oh, how many hosts can be supported in a /28? Yeah. So it's 2, 4, 8, 16 minus 2. That'd be 14. I was looking. I saw 59. I thought 59 isn't the right answer. But that was how many people got it absolutely correct. All right. Are you ready? Are you ready to see who's on top of the heap? And now, before I show the results in the podium and who won, if you are here, if you are moving, if you're thinking, if you are studying and getting yourself better knowledge-wise every week and increasing your skills, guess who wins? It's you, my friend, and that's what I want for you. I'd like everybody within the sound of my voice to make a commitment just to do a little bit better, increase your skills day by day, and it can sneak up on you. So, 2 ways, sneaking up good and bad. It can sneak up in a bad way if you have I'm just checking my buttons down here, making sure I have the right one on. If you do nothing for months or years that are productive, that can help you get better and better and better, that sneaks up on you too. It's like, hey, how did 2 years go by and I'm no better off as far as my own skills? The world and the economies and everything else that happens, the governments, that, we don't have a whole bunch of control about that, but what we can control is our time and focusing on getting ourselves better. You are a one-person show, and you need to just increase your skills and your abilities And that way you'll be more valuable to your employers, which will lead to better job opportunities and so forth. All right, so let's take a look at the podium. Everybody's a winner if you participate. And here is the podium. Clever Leopard at third. Swift Octopus in second place. And Captain Leopard comes out on top with runners up. Thank you, Arish, for joining me. I do want to go ahead and point out, too, let me go ahead and get feedback if you wouldn't mind. Let me go ahead and bring this up as well. Please make sure you bookmark somewhere the CCNA playlist here on the Keith Barker channel. And if you haven't already, click on subscribe. And that way you can find me easier. I know that when I go back, I'm looking for a certain video from somebody like, oh, where was that? By subscribing, at least it puts it in my list and I can go back and find them. There's a lot of great people that I've learned from over the last decade on YouTube, and I just subscribed to quite a few just so I can keep finding them again. All right, thanks for joining me. I appreciate the feedback. Let me go ahead and show this as well. See if I can. Oh yeah, right there. Boom. Click, 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 click. The new digs are doing great. I've got my audio filter set up. Right now I have a fan on there. There's a fan on that light. I have one of my rack servers running. I can hear it nice and loud and clear, but the mic is filtering it all out with software on the back end. Also, I have a new mixer that I'm going to be adding in just to make it a lot easier to record and have good audio. So that's it. Oftentimes we meet after a live event like this over on the Discord server. If you haven't joined there, please feel free. I think it's getting close to 3,000 or 4,000 people. All people who are studying, thinking about Cisco technologies, focused on a CCNA. Also, occasionally after these live events, there's a CCNA voice chat room. If you want to chat with somebody else and somebody's in there, just jump in and check your audio, make sure your audio is working with the gear icon, and have a conversation. Today, my wife and I, in about 10 minutes, I got a bolt. We have to run off to an event. So I won't be joining that voice chat today, but I do from time to time. Also on Discord, you can DM me. I don't ignore anybody on Discord. So if you have a question or want to follow up on something, DM me, and I check it at least 2 or 3 times a week, my direct messages, and I'm happy to follow up. So that's it. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're pursuing CCNA, pursuing CCNP, pursuing CCIE, or if you're studying something else regarding networking, I'm glad you're here. My goal is to help you succeed and get your certs on your journey to having a career and a successful career in IT. All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll catch you next time. Bye for now.